We're rolling now, and I'm here with Marcus Johnson, right? Is it Marquez or Marcus?
It's Marcus.
Marcus, like the other spelling?
Yeah, my mom couldn't spell. I ended up with a Q in my name. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
And your music name is Andre Roxx with 2 X's, right?
Correct.
Let's see what I want to add. Tampa Bay Times did a story about your stop here in Pasco.
Was it about my stop here in Pasco, or was it about my affiliation with Wu-Tang?
Exactly. They were more worried about, are you really affiliated with Wu-Tang, more than the actual traffic stop and the unconstitutionality of it.
Right.
So that was Tampa Bay Times story. So tell me about the music history. How are you affiliated with Wu-Tang?
I started working with Killa Beez circa 2000, and there was a lot of alcohol involved, so let's say 2004-ish.
Sure.
But there's a blur.
Phone call because I'm too stupid to put on airplane mode. So he was talking about you got connected with Killa Beez back in around 2000. So
around 2004-ish, and I started working with him just as an opening act for him. We worked together for years. I actually booked a lot of shows for him during that time. Kind of acted as a booking agent, promoter, publicist. We did a lot of shows up and down the I-25 corridor, so Montana to New Mexico. And eventually he made the offer to me, and I don't want to get into the details of the deal, but he made the offer to me to be signed on officially.
To Wu-Tang.
Correct.
All right.
Wu-Tang Killa Beez.
Okay.
So I want to put this out here. I've never represented myself as a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and this is the distinction. The Clan is the original 9 members.
Can you name them for everybody? Because this is a big debate. Do you know them all?
Oh, jeez. I do, but
it's all right, because,
RZA, Jizza, Method Man,
okay.
Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, You God. Did I say Method already?
I think so.
See, this is the problem. There's so many that I can't remember which ones I said.
I haven't heard of half of those, so go ahead.
Ghostface Killer.
Yes.
Capadonna and Killa Priest are debatable. Which ones did I miss?
Oh, so there is some debatable members.
Debatable as to whether or not they are officially original members, but debatable as far as whether they're members of the group. Not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay. And what is Killa Beez?
Killa Beez is essentially the second generation. We're all the guys that got signed on aftermarket. We're essentially the second generation of Wu.
Okay. So the younger generation, the generation after the original 9 members,
right?
Kind of like a spin-off.
Correct.
You guys get promoted and kind of are loosely affiliated with Wu-Tang also.
I wouldn't say it's loosely affiliated. I mean, we're clearly affiliated.
So Killa Beez is a Wu-Tang side project, basically.
Group, yes.
Okay, all right.
Wu-Tang group. I happen to be a member of the Midwest Killa Beez.
Okay.
There's a few side groups from there, but I mean, it's a whole confusing colloquy of madness.
Okay.
It's madness that we understand.
Okay, and my next question is, you were mistaked for one of the Wu-Tang or Killa Beez members.
West Coast Killa Beez, Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson, who severed his own penis.
That's correct.
And jumped off a 2-story building.
That's correct.
And who is it that mistaked you for that person?
It began with TMZ, but then, of course, once TMZ publishes a story, it goes everywhere. So TMZ published it right after that. BET, USA Today.
So it went viral in the mainstream news.
Ridiculously viral.
And it wasn't you?
No.
Did the guy look like you?
No, I mean, no.
They just made a mistake.
Right. My government name is Marcus Andre Johnson. His government name is Andre Johnson. That's where the mistake came in. And we're both members of the Wu-Tang Killa Beez. He's West Coast Killa Beez. I'm Midwest.
And did I see right that you had to post a selfie?
Yeah.
A full frontal?
Well...
Was it full frontal? I didn't see anything, and I was looking.
It was full frontal. It was full frontal.
Where did you post this?
I posted it on my Twitter, and then, of course, it,
You posted it, like, not blurred or anything?
No.
Straight up?
Straight up.
Man, I thought I had balls, man.
Well, clearly they were trying to say I didn't, so... Well, they were trying to say I didn't have a dick, but...
Okay.
I mean...
So this is not him. This is a different...
No, there's a photo that proves that...
I saw something. Okay, all right, good. This man still has his penis.
Yes.
And he knows how to use it.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So where are we going next with this? Did you sue TMZ?
I did.
And what happened there?
I lost on a technicality.
Do you care to elaborate on the technicality, or is it not that important?
Well, let's put it like this. Even with the reputation that I have, I can't. You know, Warner Brothers is a multi-billion-dollar company. They're the owners of TMZ.
Sure.
They can afford to send 78 lawyers after you. In situations like that, you have very little chance of winning.
Because they're going to find the chink in the armor, basically.
Right. So what they argued successfully was that because I was incarcerated at the time in Pennsylvania, that I was a Pennsylvania resident, which I was not. And therefore, I was subject to Pennsylvania statute of limitation laws.
Oh, man.
So I was not released until after the statute of limitations had already been expired. So they successfully argued that I missed the statute of limitations.
So some BS.
Yeah.
Legal technicalities.
Yeah, legal technicalities. Rather than the case being about, hey, you claimed I cut my dick off and I didn't.
Right.
And it wasn't even, and to be honest, I wasn't even suing for pay me. It was, hey, can you correct this shit so I can, keep living my life?
Right. All right. Next question. Where are you from?
Little small town most people never heard of. Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
How small are we talking?
Last count, it was 17,000 people.
All right. Very good.
It's diminishing and shrinking.
How and why did you learn about the law?
I learned a lot about the law because I've seen so many of our, especially being an African American male, I've seen so many people's rights being violated and people dying because of it. It behooves me to know what the people who are carrying guns on their hips can do and can't do so that I can defend myself.
Right.
I mean, it's as simple as that. I don't want to die. And
do you have specific sources that you really inspired you? A specific event that really inspired you to learn the law, or just general happenings within the community?
Obviously, my arrest with the other issue, and I don't want to get into that, but
sure.
My arrest inspired me quite a bit. Plus, I had a lot of time when I was in jail to learn about the law. But even prior to that, we were seeing so many of the... What was happening was... Blacks have been saying for years that there is an issue with policing. And up until recently, people have been like, oh, no, there's not. Blacks are exaggerating. Yeah. And then we started getting video evidence because now everybody's carrying around the camera.
That's what it is.
Right. And what I started seeing was, even with video evidence...
It's not making a difference yet.
Yeah, people are like...
not yet.
Well, screw it. Well, I mean, dude, we've been getting videos since the Rodney King incident.
Yeah, but the generations are going to catch up. It's going to catch up. You're talking about people that are over 45, 50 now that are saying, oh, the cops are our heroes. But go on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to butt in like that.
I mean, they're saying that the cops are our heroes, and they're making, like, the most petty excuses for these cops. Oh, well, you don't see what's happening off camera, or he breathed on him wrong, so that's why the cop...
You edited the video.
Right. It's all kinds of bullshit like that.
Yeah, that's cops-plaining. That's what I call it.
Yeah, so I get to a point where I'm just like, you know what? I need to know my rights.
That's right.
So that when these cops come and start messing with me, at least I have some form of protection, because there is no other form of protection right now. And, people like me are ending up dead in the streets.
You're right. All right. Black label, promote. All right, let's get to the actual traffic stop now.
Let's do it.
So, Pasco County, Florida. You moved here less than 3 weeks ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
D.C. Well, just outside of D.C., Prince George County.
Can I ask how old you are?
33.
All right, you're a young guy.
Yeah.
All right, so you moved from D.C. to Pasco County. I'm assuming you have relatives here?
Yes, my parents are here.
Okay. And less than 3 weeks you're here. You went to go pick up a motorcycle. So let's just go from there.
Okay. So we go to pick up a beautiful 1985.
Your dream motorcycle.
Yeah. 1200cc engine. It's decked out exactly how I want it. It's gorgeous.
What is it? A crotch rocket or a Harley?
No crotch rocket.
Harley?
It's a cruiser.
Okay. Yamaha?
Honda.
Okay. Goldwing. Those are nice.
Yeah.
It's like a motorcycle Cadillacs almost.
Exactly.
All right.
The only issue with it is it doesn't have a sound system, which I'll correct in about 3 days.
Okay. It's a heavy motorcycle.
It's a big boy.
1,200. That's 1.2 liters, I believe.
I believe total the bike weighs just over 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
So we put it up on a motorcycle trailer that's rated to mess with bikes about 800 pounds.
So it's a little heavy.
A little heavy for the trailer.
All right.
I'll give you that. So we put it up on there. We're driving it down the street. Of course, because of the weight, the back end of the trailer is banging up against the ground, and we hear it.
Okay. How bad?
Not bad enough that it would make us stop.
Just a scrape here and there.
Right.
At certain bumps or something.
Exactly.
And
yes.
how long was the journey?
We're going from Weeki Wachee to Port Richey, so less than 30 minutes.
Okay.
We put the bike on the back of the trailer, and we don't realize that the license plate is...
The license plate's not flush, so it scrapes against the ground a little
Exactly.
bit. All right.
Exactly. So we get pulled over. And when the officer pulls us over, he comes to the passenger side window, which is kind of strange, but okay.
Was it on a busy highway or something?
We're on Highway 19, but...
Was the driver's side, like, did it seem extra dangerous to go to?
Absolutely not.
He just chose to come to the passenger side?
Correct.
Now, do you know his name?
I have asked his name and his badge number. It's on my video, but I can't remember it to save my life right now. Which is why I recorded it.
Okay. Always record. You know that. All right, go on.
So as soon as I see the cop pull up, I throw my camera on and go live on Facebook.
Okay. And that's why everything looks reverse negative on the video. Okay, go on.
So I throw the camera on, and he comes up to the he comes up to the window, and he asks for my father's name and license. My father hands it to him. Then he asks for the rest of the people in the car.
How many people were there?
It was myself, my uncle, and my father.
So 3 total?
3 total.
All right. Did your uncle give ID?
To be honest, I don't know, because by the time he did give ID, if he did, I was already in the back of a cruiser.
Okay.
So he comes up to the vehicle. He asks for ID, and I say very politely, "I'm a passenger. I'm not required to identify myself."
Correct.
To which he tried to argue with me.
And said?
He said, "In the state of Florida, you are required to identify yourself."
That's a lie.
I'm aware.
Go on. And that's 901.151 for all the haters. Go on.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not familiar with Florida law, but I am familiar with federal law. And federal law, I mean, Stufflebeam v. Harris.
You had it right anyway. It's the Fourth Amendment. Go ahead. You're about to state some case law. Go ahead.
Yeah, Stufflebeam v. Harris, Fourth Amendment to the Constitution.
Say that again so I can hear you.
Stufflebeam v. Harris.
Stufflebeam.
Beam
Stufflebeam versus Harris. So what's that about?
It literally is a case about a passenger refusing to identify himself to police.
That's beautiful.
He took it to the district court. District court ruled against him. He appealed it. And the appeal in the Supreme Court of the United States of America was that passengers are not required to identify themselves unless they are subject to Terry stop. Now, you and I both know Terry v. Ohio states that in order for them to identify me, they have to have an articulable reason that they suspect me to be in the commission of a crime.
Yeah.
Now, I clearly cannot commit a crime in the passenger seat of a vehicle, not even a vehicle code violation.
Well, I mean, you can, but unless they literally know that you did something illegal.
Exactly.
Did, about to do, or already have done, or there's 3 standards. And the one you're talking about, 901.151, the Terry v. Ohio, and those 2 match up perfectly. Right. Go ahead.
So at the end of the day, he did not articulate a reasonable suspicion.
They never do.
That he suspected me to be in the commission.
He was talking out his ass. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, Live PD was there. I'm reading from my commenters.
Absolutely, Live PD was there. And if it did air on Live PD, does anybody know what date it aired? Because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I just read a comment on my the thread of the video I made about your situation. Okay. And they said it was on Live PD.
Yeah, I'd love. Was it on Live PD?
I'm not sure. That's what they're saying. We'll find out.
I want to see that because.
So he lies to you. Says in Florida you have to. In Florida you have to. And he's a bald. I don't know what it is. Is it bald or bold? What? Bold-faced liar.
Yeah, bold-faced liar.
So he's a bold-faced liar. In Florida, no. It's 901.151. He stated also the Fourth Amendment, which is reciprocal with 901.151. They go hand in hand. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so then from there, he says, if you want to play this game, I'll go ahead and arrest you.
There's no game.
Yeah, I'm like, the game is the Constitution.
The law is not a game. See, they think when you stand up for your rights, you're playing. Law enforcement officer. Mr. Okay, I'm going to go on a rant. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. This is supposed to be interviewing you.
Well, he says you want to play this game, and you saw from the video, and for those of you that haven't, please check out the video. You see, I was not being rude.
Nope.
I was not being aggressive.
Nope.
I've seen people be much more hostile
Oh,
and aggressive.
yeah,
than
me
police are.
especially.
Yeah, I saw your videos.
Me.
I wasn't going to say you.
I don't know how he held it together, people. I'm losing it just talking to the guy. I wasn't even there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool.
Go ahead.
So I'm being very polite.
Yep.
Articulate.
You're telling him the law the way it is. Right. He doesn't know the law, but you do. Go on.
Right. He says, "Oh, you want to play this game? Well, fine. Let's. I'm going to take you into jail for resisting arrest."
He said resisting. We're going to have to pull you out the car.
Right.
He said, it's time for us to get violent. Is basically what he said.
Right.
Because you don't want to surrender your Fourth Amendment, and you're not required to under 901.151. I know I keep repeating that, but I want to beat it into people's head.
Right.
Go ahead.
So he says, we're going to go ahead and arrest you for resisting.
Well, before that, they tricked you out of the car.
Well, I don't think that they tricked me, but there was nothing I could do about it.
Right, because of Pennsylvania versus Mims. Did
they
actually bring a dog?
They did bring a dog after I was already arrested.
Right.
So he says, we're going to play this game, and then he tells my father to speak to me.
Yeah, I remember that. And then he coerced your father into giving up your info.
Correct.
And your dad made it very clear, I'm giving him the info because I don't want to go to jail.
Right. Actually, and I want to say this because there's been a lot of comments about my father and, a lot of the revolutionaries that I deal with. Guys, stop insulting my dad, okay? Let me be very clear about this. My father was concerned for his son's safety, just like any father would be. He expressed it in a very different way than I would have. But please understand, my father is 26 years military. There's no fear in that man. So please stop trying to insult my father as if you're supporting my case, because that's just not going to fly.
The guy didn't want to go to jail.
Yeah, my father didn't want to go to jail. And he was
once you reach a certain age, you don't want to go to jail, man. I don't want to go to jail.
Well, he was actually more concerned. I've had a conversation with my father. He was more concerned about me going to jail.
Sure.
And he was trying to protect his son.
Sure.
And that's what any good father would do. So please, for all of you out there that have made statements about my father, back off on my dad, because I don't need you on my team if you're going to come after my father. I just want to make
you got issue with this guy. You say it directly to this guy. Same with me.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I just want to make that clear, and I'm sorry to go off on that.
It's okay,
tangent.
man. Just for a good measure, it's his dad. It's his fight. His dad is not part of it. My dad's not part of my fight. He was in one of my videos too.
Right.
So go on. So they pull you out the car and you ask them about 3, 4, 5 times, am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? They wouldn't answer you.
Well, let's talk about when they pulled me out of the car. So
did they pull you? I forgot.
They did not.
No,
pull
you
me
stepped
out
out.
of the vehicle. They said, we need you to step out of the vehicle because we're going to conduct a canine sniff, which makes absolutely no sense if you're going to sniff the outside of the vehicle. But legally speaking, you know as well as I do, once a police officer asks you to step out of a car, you have no choice.
Pennsylvania versus Mims. But it's supposed to be for their safety. It's not supposed to be for trickery and entrapment. But go on.
Exactly. So the moment that he pulls me out of the car, or the moment that I step out of the vehicle, he spins me around.
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to the video, the last thing you hear in the video is,
am I under arrest?
No.
What?
Get his phone, get his phone.
Oh, yeah. They shut it off so fast, too.
So as soon as they're taking my phone, he puts me in a finger lock to make me release my phone. And I say, that's my property. Unless you have a warrant signed by a judge, you cannot seize my property.
Okay.
He twists my finger and gets the phone anyway.
And they shut it off instantly.
Shut it off
Another
instantly.
thing they shouldn't do that.
Which is why I need the live PD video, which is why if anybody has seen it or knows what date that it aired, please let me know.
Yeah, send it to me.
Because they're already going to give us problems about getting the body cam footage and all of that.
Yeah, and they charge you $1 a minute, by the way, for that.
I don't care.
Yeah, I hear you, but go on.
They then slam me up against the vehicle, as I've already seen a doctor about my shoulder.
Showing off for the live PD, probably. Go on.
I'm continuing to see a doctor about my shoulder because there is some damage.
Good. I mean, not good that there's damage. You know what I mean.
Yeah. If they messed up my jump shot, we got a problem.
That's right. We do jump shots here, too. Go on.
They slammed me up against the vehicle. From that point, they slammed my phone up on the top of the vehicle.
After they shut it off.
After they shut it off.
Another
you can
violation.
See how quickly they shut my phone.
Yeah, because that's what corrupt police are worried about, exposure. Go on. I wish you had their names.
I asked him again, am I under arrest? The first time he says no. which is why I'm like, you can't seize my property.
But I heard him saying stop resisting it while they were doing it. Is there more than one guy?
At this point, there's probably 3. I'm turned to the.
So you don't necessarily. Do you know whose voice said what? Which
this
one?
This is why I need the live PD footage.
Right. Okay.
At this point, I'm turned to the van. He starts screaming, "Stop resisting," which is his natural reaction.
That's you could be 50 feet away, they would say that.
Which is hilarious because I literally say to him, "I have not moved a muscle."
All right.
And he slams me up against the car.
Sure.
I asked him the first time, "Am I under arrest?" He says, "No." Then you can't seize my property.
I didn't catch that, but I'll watch it again.
No, it's after the
after the shut off.
Correct.
All right.
Then he slams me up against the car again, and then he says, "Now you're under arrest."
For?
Resisting arrest.
That's literally what he said.
Well, he didn't say anything. At this point, I was charged. So they throw me in the back of the cruiser.
In cuffs.
In cuffs. And then about 5 minutes later, they come and Mirandize me. While he's Mirandizing me, they bring the dog.
Okay.
After he Mirandizes me, he tries to play the good cop. "Hey, dude, listen, I'm exercising my right to remain silent." So at this point, he closes the door. So he does respect my right to remain silent. Mm-hmm. Another cop comes by about 5 minutes later. "Listen, dude, we just want to talk to you. You know, we're probably just going to release. I'm exercising my right to remain silent."
Right.
He's like, "Well, that's fine. Just listen to me then." I don't have anything to say.
No, thank you.
Closes the door.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 minutes later, a cop comes in. Now, everybody who is familiar with my music, you know that these are very distinct tattoos.
Yeah, let me get a close-up of those.
These are the original Andre Roxx logos prior to Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Cop comes up to the door. He lifts up my left sleeve, and then he says, "Oh shit, that is him." I say, "Yeah. Yeah."
Oh, so they looked you up, and then they're like, "This is so-and-so, music star."
I don't know who looked up what or how that played out.
Sure.
But he comes back to the car, lifts up my sleeve. "Oh shit, that is him." So then they take me down to the station, and this is where the fun begins.
Okay. Which station?
The Pasco County Sheriff's Department jail. I don't know. I'm new here, so I don't.
In Land O'Lakes?
Yes.
It was a long ride. That's right by my house, man.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
So they get me in there, and then they start trying to question me again. They want the typical booking questions: name, address, phone number. I say I'm exercising my right to remain silent. And they say, "You don't have a right to remain silent."
Yes, you
here.
do.
And I said, "Wait a minute. You just told me that anything I say,
Exactly,
you're going to use not in my favor, but against me.
Can and will.
And you think I'm foolish enough to speak in here?"
Exactly.
So
that's their worst enemy, is silence.
So they put me in the little holding cell. I guess they were trying to punish me.
Mm-hmm.
So they put me in the holding cell. For those of you that don't know, that's not going to faze me.
Right.
So every half hour or so, they come back and they say, "Well, are you going to cooperate now?
Cooperate with what?
You want to fingerprint me? You want to do all of that? Fine. Well, we need you to confirm that this is your name."
No thanks.
You have my ID.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, in his police report, he says I identified him by the ID in his wallet.
That's right.
You have my identification. So, well, if you're not going to cooperate, we're going to put you back in here. And this booking is going to take forever. Okay?
Threats. Okay, so they're threatening you. Go on.
So it took them about 8 hours to get me booked in because they kept doing that. This was a dance that we kept doing.
And you kept saying, "I'm not answering your questions."
Right.
All right.
Right. Is that your address?
Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Is that your date of birth?
Good for you, man, because most people wouldn't know to do that.
I mean, they give you, this is the thing, they give you the instructions. They say, anything you say, we're going to use against you. But guys, you got to stop taking, I know we hear it so much in the movies and everything like that we don't actually listen to what's being said. We think it's just something that they have to say. But there's a reason that they have to Mirandize you.
That's right.
And the reason is so that they can inform you of your rights. Now, you should take a listen and understand what your rights are. And think about what's in your best interest.
Correct.
If they're telling you they're going to use what you say against you, why would you say anything?
And if you're not well versed in the law and their strategies and their tactics, shut your mouth.
Yeah. So that goes on, that goes back and forth. So then I'm released. Well, the bond situation was crazy. They say, well, who are you going to get to post bond? So I'm going to post my own bond. It's a $150 bond. I said, go ahead and swipe my debit card.
So, just to reiterate, you're in jail. You were arrested for resisting arrest.
Yes.
That doesn't even make sense.
I agree.
What were you being arrested for that you resisted the arrest?
Knowing the law. Being a black man knowing the law.
This is unreal. This, again, okay. Go on, I'm sorry.
But no, it is. It should be unreal, but it is real. This is reality. Is knowing your rights in today's with today's policing is a liability, and that's absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. Police think that you're playing a game. There's so many videos on TV or on YouTube right now where you see a cop and they use that same line over and over again. Well, what are you, a constitutionalist?
Sovereign citizen?
Yeah, I'm under the Constitution. Of course I'm a constitutionalist.
Aren't you?
You should be too.
Aren't you a constitutionalist? You swore an oath to uphold it.
But they have, you know, they think that exercising your rights is an affront to their badge. Well, and let's be honest here.
You know why that is, though? One of the reasons. Let me quickly. There's a thing called the Southern Poverty Law Center. They make videos. And for some reason, police departments use the Southern Poverty Law Center's videos as like training aids. Mm-hmm. Who are they? They're a private organization. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, when your rights become a liability, and when the police are willing to violate your rights and don't have any oversight, then you have no rights.
They investigate themselves.
Right.
Think of, okay, so I'm going to go steal this truck out here, and if someone says so, any one of them, yours, whatever.
No, the hell you're not.
Any one but yours.
Okay.
I'm going to go take any one of those but yours, and I'm going to investigate myself when I get caught.
Right. It's ridiculous.
How is that? See, again, my head's starting to hurt. My head is starting to hurt. It's going to affect my game.
Exactly. Like if you go look on my video, you see how many guys are saying right now, just give him your ID. Just give him your ID. Why are you giving him a hard time?
That's what they tell me.
Because it's my right as a citizen of the United States
right to privacy.
of America.
Why aren't they respecting the right to privacy?
Exactly. Why would he even ask me for my ID?
The first policy of almost every police station in this country is to get you to surrender your Fourth Amendment by requesting ID. That's how all police brutality starts. That's how almost all these situations start.
Exactly.
Let me see some ID. And they throw the little fucking brackets like that at you. That's a gang symbol right there.
Exactly.
So, we got to find out if Live PD was there. If it was there, let me pause it real quick.
I'm out of it.
All right, we took a quick break. We got a refill.
Yep.
We're all good.
Yep.
And forgot where we left off, man.
All right. Well,
oh, no, not music. All right, so they started playing music inside, and you know how YouTube is about music. So let's finish off this interview with... You met with a congressman today.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, actually, I met with a congressional candidate today.
Yeah, congressional candidate.
His name is Stephen Perenick. You know, I've actually spoken to several of the congressional candidates, and Stephen Perenick was really willing to take up this cause. Not so much for me. I mean, you know, I want to make everybody clear on this. This isn't about me. Because Andre Roxx is going to have viral videos. They're going to throw rallies for Andre Roxx. We're going to have, you know, I got a good lawyer. You know, I'm going to be okay. Where my issue is that there are dozens of people. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have hit me up since this has happened and said, hey, similar things have happened to me. My rights have been violated by the Pasco County Sheriff's Department.
I get that a lot too.
Especially the homeless in this community. You know, I can't tell you how many people are like, my rights have been violated and I'm scared because they're going to lock me up.
They can't even ride a bicycle.
Right. They're like, they're going to lock me up. They're going to, you know, do this. They're going to retaliate against me, all of that. And there's a whole lot of people who don't have the media presence that I have. Like, they can't fuck with me but so much.
Right.
Because they're going to do that and make themselves look really bad in the media.
Correct.
But Joe, the homeless guy down the street,
he's got no voice.
He
has no voice.
So I have to be a voice for them. And when I met with Congressman or congressional candidate Stephen Perenick today, he was really excited about taking up that cause. He was really excited about saying, hey, the people of this county need to have their civil rights respected by the law enforcement of this county. And he's willing to make that one of his key issues and one of the key things that we speak about. So over the next few weeks and over the next few months, we're really going to be pushing that issue hard. And I hope that everybody is going to say, hey, I want my rights protected. And I want to speak to Pasco County because a lot of guys are like, this black guy, you know, he's just... Look,
He's
what if
just
it was your
what?
Second Amendment right?
Right, go ahead.
Instead of your Fourth Amendment right?
Right.
What if the cop came up to me and said, I want to take your gun, and I had my, a pistol on my hip, and I was within my Second Amendment rights to carry that pistol? How would you feel then?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Your Fourth Amendment right is just as important as your Second Amendment right. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. And like I said, I've met with a few congressional candidates. I've actually met with our congressman here. I've tried to meet with our congressman here. He doesn't want to speak to me.
Right.
Which
one?
What is
Scott?
his name? No.
Nelson?
No, he's the senator. I haven't met with Nelson yet. But
all right.
I intend to. Gus something or other.
Oh, Gus Bilarakis.
There we go. I've called his office several times and wanted to meet with him. He didn't want to.
He's a very mainstream guy, man. He likes to lay low.
Apparently, he doesn't want to give me a call back. So, and this isn't about right or left. This isn't about Democrat or Republican. This is about
freedom or tyranny.
Yeah, it's those first 10 amendments.
That's right.
Those first 10 amendments. And the founding fathers wrote them because they were the most important laws to our nation.
That's right.
And we live in a nation now where they are quickly being taken from us. That's right. And if we don't start to do something about that, only the guys like Andre Roxx are going to be able to defend them. Like, I want everybody to know, I'm going to be okay. But Joe down the street's not going to be okay. Mary and Keith and all of these different people who have reached out to me, they're not going to be okay. They're going to get thrown in jail.
That's right.
For doing something as simple as walking down the street and not having an ID
at the wrong time.
Right. And you got these police officers who are hopped up on adrenaline.
Yep.
Don't want to look like some homeless guy punked them. Let's face it, we were riding in a piece of shit van, and they looked at us and they said, "Oh, these guys are poor." They didn't realize.
Or they're up to something.
Exactly. We're riding in a piece of shit van, towing a motorcycle under a tarp.
Right.
They're like, these guys are poor.
They thought they were going to score a big arrest or something.
Exactly.
That's why they were so insistent on IDing you.
And then this black guy doesn't want to give what? He's not going to tell me.
He wants to keep his privacy.
He's not going to tell me no. I give a damn about his rights.
And that's why I compare cops to rapists, because they have to force their will on you.
Exactly.
They have to. They have to. And when people say, "Oh, why don't you just cooperate with them?" I say, "Well, why don't women just cooperate with their rapists?"
Exactly.
Why don't they? It would just spread your legs, make it easy for the guy.
Exactly. Listen.
It'll be over sooner, right?
If we don't defend our rights, they're going to take them from us.
That's right. They already started a long time ago.
Anybody that wants to see that in action, all you got to do is open up a history book and look at 1937 Germany.
Right.
And see how Hitler did not just say, "I'm going to go kill 6 million Jews."
No, he got voted in.
He started slowly,
that's right,
but surely,
incrementally
eroding the rights of the citizens.
You got it.
And by the time he was killing Jews, you had no rights anyway.
Right.
You had no right. You were under a fascist dictatorship.
All right, this video is already longer than most YouTubers' attention span, so let's finish up with you got some youth group stuff going on, right?
Well, we're going to be reaching out to the youth in support of congressional candidate Perenich.
Okay.
Perenich. I still, having problems.
That's all right. Some European guy.
There we go. There we go. So we're going to be reaching out to him. I'm also running a campaign right now. More of an initiative to hire lawyers for the people who have had their rights violated by the Pasco County Sheriff's Department. So we're fundraising for that. Right now, you can send a donation to justiceinpasco@gmail.com through PayPal.
There you go.
And we're going to be...
Say that one more time. What's the PayPal email address?
justiceinpasco@gmail.com.
All right, if you guys want to help this guy's out in his cause... Send $1 there, $2, whatever.
Literally every single dime goes to just hiring lawyers for people.
That's great.
Who've been screwed over.
Now, how about promoting your media stuff, music? What you got going there?
Our political talk radio shows. My show in the morning is called Every Voice Lifted. It deals specifically with issues that affect the African American community.
Okay.
And my show in the evening is called The Chamber, and it deals with social and political issues in general.
Now, where can people hear this?
The morning show is on Hip Hop News Source Radio, hhnsradio.com.
Okay.
And the evening show is on KYBN Radio, the whole network. So check your AM.
So you're going to invite me to come in too?
Absolutely.
All right.
Check your AM and FM
So-
listings. It's also on HHNS radio.
Okay.
It's also on the WNIA network. So
Okay.
there's a bunch of stations across the country that carry the evening show. But it's from 2 to 4 a.m. because they won't let me say what I say during prime time.
Okay, guys, this is Marcus Johnson.
Andre Roxx. Wu-Tang,
Andre
Killa
Roxx,
Beez.
Wu-Tang Clan, Killa Beez. He was falsely arrested by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. He's actually doing a lot more than I can do.
Give us free.
Hey, you got to meet my friend Jesse, man. But anyway, thank you for the interview, man. I really appreciate you coming out.
No doubt.
It was awesome. I'll help you any way I can, and I'll connect you with Benjamin, all right?
All right,
All right,
you
sir.
having me on here, man.
My pleasure.